What's up? Do you like animals? They are very cool. But sometimes these fluffy or not very fluffy dudes act weird. If you leave them unattended for a minute, they already win you $100,000, or they come to the police station or the pharmacy or somewhere else when they really need it, even the store. All these stories are real. Subscribe to the channel and see for yourself. Cat Grant. Cats like laptops. Maybe it's their inner craving for programming. Maybe it's their desire to get warm, or maybe it's just a love for the flickering things on the screen. Anyway, a cat named Modi is no exception. She used to be homeless, but then Jessica Schlitter picked up Modi, and the cat immediately fell in love with her new owner's laptop. At the time, Jessica was in grad school, but eventually became an associate professor of psychology at Stony Brook University in New York. Needless to say, the girl started doing various psychological research projects, but such things cost money. So most of her work involves applying for funding. It's a normal practice for scientists, but few people manage to get money for research with the help of a cat. Cat? Is this right? Well, I guess that's what happened. So one day, Jessica was about to apply for a really cool grant of $100,000.
My name is Jessica Schlitter. I'm an assistant professor at Stony Brook University in the clinical psychology program. And there, I'm very fortunate to direct the lab for scalable mental health.
Before sending the email, she decided to take a little break and get some air. After all, it's not every day you ask for that kind of money. But while she left her laptop unattended, Modi came and carefully studied the application, made a few corrections, then pressed the right button with her paw. When Jessica found out that the application was filed, she had a panic attack. But the cat was perfectly calm, as if it knew what it was doing. Oh, these people are always worried about nothing. And you know, Modi was right. Jessica got the grant. Lost and found. If you have a dog, you must have lost it at least once or thought you'd lost it. Either way, you can't confuse those emotions with anything. It's like a little heart attack. Sometimes you can find your pets on your own, and sometimes you can find them with the help of other people, announcements, or volunteers, but this case is quite unique because a dog named Chico has done it himself. And he didn't just come home. No, Chico approached the fact of his loss in a very responsible way, so much that he even reported it to the police. Now, imagine you're a police officer in Odessa, Texas, and suddenly a dog comes to the department, and like a good boy, he politely put his paws up on the counter to report himself missing. Sergeant Rusty Martin, who was in the office, said that Chico wasn't particularly upset about his lost status. He got enough attention from the police and even played ball with them. All that time, people were trying to identify the lost dog and the address of its owner, but the collar was missing a tag. Only the chip was left. But before he could be verified, Chico thought he'd been a lost dog long enough, so he went home quietly. It happened faster than the police could react. Only the next day, Chico's owner informed them that the dog who'd reported himself missing had returned home. Strong hug. Cats like to pick weird places to sit. Any surface in the flat is okay, even if it's not flat. But if it's all rather clear with laptops and boxes, and even explained by zoo psychologists, that's not a joke. There really are specialists like that. So if everything is clear with laptops and boxes, then what about human faces? Oh, cats just love to lie on their owners' faces, especially when the owners have just woken up and plan to lie in bed for a while. But it isn't the worst. Sometimes the unexpected love for human faces awakens at night. Sounds like some sort of killer cat horror is gonna start. Okay, actually, it's a lot more harmless. One web user with a nickname that we can't read noticed that he somehow started to sleep too anxiously, breathing problems and all that. Some people have sleep apnea or a short stop of breathing while you sleep, but this guy decided to put a camera next to him to find out exactly what the problem was. You know, in case a demon comes in the middle of the night and tries to strangle him. Perfectly ordinary situation. And it turns out to be true, almost. The camera caught the cat who was looking at him very closely and then laid down on the owner's face and shut down the airway. We don't know how you can ignore the touch of fur. It tickles a lot. Not to mention the weight of a whole cat on your face. Anyway, it's pretty hard not to notice that. Probably that fluffy villain just wanted to hug his beloved owner harder or make him stop snoring. But who knows? Maybe it was just a very insidious plan. Maybe, just maybe, this is how the cat tried to get rid of its owner. Maybe. Hey, by the way, when was the last time that guy was online? Spider-raccoon. Okay, let's be honest. Raccoons are amazing creatures. They can be unbelievably and overwhelmingly cute and make chaos around them, be charming pets, and transmit dangerous diseases, dig through the garbage, and at the same time be the source of your good mood. You know all those videos. But the Spider-raccoon broke every possible raccoon record. It all started when a raccoon was spotted on the ground floor of an office building in St. Paul, Minnesota. Although local workers must love the wildlife, they decided to take the animal down. They arranged some kind of ladder made of long sticks, but the raccoon didn't appreciate the kindness and moved in the opposite direction, upwards. Of course, we heard that raccoons climb well, but not like that. Meanwhile, the beast literally climbed up the steep wall, and nothing embarrassed it. The whole day, the raccoon climbed around the building, occasionally resting on the ledges, and the whole world was watching the ascent. The strange climber even had its own account and hashtag on Twitter. The witnesses published photos of the raccoon on the building, and the local TV channels organized an online broadcast of its climb. And there was a lot of worrying of people near the building. But if you think climbing an office building is a great way to become famous, don't do it. Really, don't. Unless you're some other kind of charming animal, a possum maybe, or an otter. Meanwhile, it took the raccoon a whole day to climb the skyscraper. Imagine how many times it thought that it was a very bad idea. And no, they couldn't just open a window and let the beast in. It's a skyscraper. Windows don't open up there. So the raccoon had to climb higher and higher and even higher. By 3 a.m., he had finally overcome all 23 floors of the building and climbed up to the roof where food, water, and traps were already waiting for him. Then the raccoon was returned to the wild. Family reunion. Have you heard stories about brothers, sisters, or other close relatives who were separated as children? Then they suddenly found each other, all crying, heartbreaking music playing, and this show set in prime time? Turns out it happens not only in the human world, so turn on the soundtrack, prepare the handkerchiefs. Dogs Monty and Rosie are brother and sister, and they were born in the same litter. There were 6 puppies, but these two always seemed inseparable. Alas, the puppies were taken to different homes by different owners. It's rare for people to take into account pet needs. Monty and Rosie have never seen each other again. 10 months have passed. It's nothing for humans, but a really long time for puppies. And then during one of the walks, the family was suddenly reunited. The dogs immediately recognized each other, and look at that, they start hugging each other. I think we forgot to warn you, this story was going to make you cry. Shopping for a cat. Attention, here's another super cute story. Okay, so it was March 2020. A girl named Tanya Santz went to a store near the house and found a surprise visitor, a white cat clearly waiting for something. The cat took Tanya to the store and led her as confidently as possible to the particular shelves. It was just blocking the girl's way if she tried to take at least a step aside, and the road led, exactly to the shelves with the cat treats. This guy definitely knows how to hint. Of course, Tanya bought the cat some food. On her next visit, she hoped to meet a furry extortionist again, but he wasn't at the store. But only because the cat was already waiting inside. The staff told the girl that the cat came every day and tried to persuade the customers to donate some food to him. Some agree, some don't. But you have to admit, it's a damn smart approach. Why wait for someone to start feeding you when you can be persistent? And of course, this story has a happy ending. Tanya found out he was living in a wasteland and took the tramp home. How many years the cat had been homeless, you can only guess. In the process of wandering, he even lost his tail somewhere. But in the end, he found someone who loved him. And that's awesome. Ask for help. Banu Cengiz works as a pharmacist in Istanbul and just loves dogs. Not only did she find her pet in the streets and adopt it, the girl also set up a kind of shelter for other homeless dogs right in front of her pharmacy. Beds, food, water, anything animals that haven't found their home yet might need. Anyway, Cengiz is used to dogs and knows all about their behavior. But one day, she ran into something unusual. No, not a UFO or something like that. No, Cengiz just saw a dog sitting at the door of her drugstore. It seemed like it was waiting for something. Even though it could have chilled with the others, the girl let the dog into the pharmacy and realized that this poor animal had a problem, a cut on his leg. Usually, homeless animals can cope with such difficulties on their own, but this dog seemed to understand perfectly well that there was someone who could help it, and this someone is in medicine.
Tamam, hadi başka var mı başka ayakta? Tamam, o bitti. O bitti. Yok ama tamam mı? Yalamak yok, tamam mı?
The pharmacist cleaned the wound with antiseptic, and when the bleeding stopped, she gave the dog antibiotics. You know what the weird thing is? The whole time, the patient was acting just perfect, like it was asking for help. Well, yeah. That's it. If you've seen some unusual animal behavior, then why don't we know about it yet? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll be happy to read them, and give us some likes.